is going on, everyone? So it's been quite a while since my last Blu-ray update video. The last one I made was actually in late June, and I promised I would make a new Blu-ray update video for you guys back in September. So this one is definitely way overdue, so I thought it was about time I finally get it out. This one will be just like the last one. In fact, I have roughly the same amount of Blu-rays to show off for this video as I did for the last video, which is nice. And I'm definitely very excited to show off all my new Blu-rays to you guys. I have a lot of the releases from 2016 on Blu-ray now, as well as a couple of Blu-rays I meant to get over the last couple of years, but I just never did until the last couple of months. Though before I start this Blu-ray video, I asked those who are new to my channel to please subscribe and follow me on social media at SvenSulley, as well as follow me on Snapchat at SvenMovies. So without further ado, let's begin. So the first Blu-ray I have to show off today is a movie that I did not watch in 2016. It's one of the ones I missed, and I'm very sad I missed it because it's actually one of my favorite movies of that year. And after I watched it in June, at first I was like, meh, not that great. But then, as I thought about it, I loved it. And that's Nocturnal Animals, a fantastic movie directed by Tom Ford, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Amy Adams. This is one of the most underrated and best movies of 2016. And when I watched this movie, like I said, at first, I was like, that's a stupid ending. I wish they would have gone a better route. But then when I sat and thought about it for a couple of days, I was like, wow, that movie was extremely deep and very well written. This is easily one of the best movies I saw from 2016. I definitely recommend checking it out if you have never seen it, Nocturnal Animals. Back in July on Amazon, I picked up The Imitation Game, a movie I've actually not seen for almost 2 years now, but I have to watch it again because Benedict Cumberbatch, as I remember, this was a performance that got me on to loving him. He was phenomenal in this movie. I think he is Oscar worthy, and Keira Knightley as well was a great co-star. A very emotional but really well written, intriguing movie. And I loved every single second of The Imitation Game. I thought it'd be like a boring movie, but it was actually very investing. And I like the retelling of the story because this is a historical film, but has definitely a couple of plot twists that I liked and surprised me. So The Imitation Game, definitely a great movie. And one of the best movies of 2015, The Gift. This is strictly a suspense thriller with so many plot twists that I did not see coming. And by the end of this movie, wow, my jaw just dropped. Joel Edgerton, he is fantastic. Jason Bateman, my God, he is great in this movie. This is probably his best performance of all time, in my opinion. I'm actually glad for once Jason Bateman decided to take a serious role. I wish he would do roles more often like this because he was so good. And I just like the story of this one. I feel like it was a well-directed movie by Joel Edgerton. If you guys like thrillers, you'll definitely like The Gift. 21 and 22 Jump Street. I feel like these movies deserve a trilogy. These two are the funniest movies I think I saw in this decade so far. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, I love them together in this movie. It's so funny. The first one I feel like has a better story, but the second one I feel like is funnier. And these two are just great movies, and I definitely think they deserve a third movie to be made. One of David Fincher's best, Zodiac. This one, my God. David Fincher is one of my favorite directors, and this is easily one of his top 3 best movies. Another great Jake Gyllenhaal movie, as well as the appearances from Robert Downey Jr. and Mark Ruffalo. This is an intriguing, great retelling of how they were trying to figure out who the Zodiac Killer was, and by the end of it, I was very pleased, and I kind of came up with a conclusion of who I personally think the Zodiac Killer might be. Definitely check out Zodiac if you've never seen it. This movie, in my opinion, is perfect. And easily one of Pixar's top 5 best movies, WALLE. I meant to pick up this movie on Blu-ray so long ago, but I just picked it up very recently. WALLE is a visual masterpiece, a very quiet, subtle movie to start out, but leads into a movie that asks so many questions about our humanity and what we might become if we continue going the way we're going right now. And this movie just touches my heart on a different level. You guys know me. If you watched my Pixar ranking video, I talked about WALLE and said So many great things about it. WALLE, it is easily one of my top 5 favorite Pixar movies, one that will be remembered for many years to come. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, finally picked up Rogue One. In fact, this is the Blu-ray 3D version. I thought this movie was actually pretty good. A lot of people were saying they loved it. Some people actually did not like it that much. I personally enjoyed it. I have to watch it again, though. I actually have not watched it since I saw it in theaters, but I have to watch it again because there were a couple things that annoyed me during this movie that I remember. And I know there isn't much characterization and stuff, but the action sequences are good, as well as Darth Vader having some good appearances in this movie. This is a solid Star Wars film. They could have done a little bit better, but I feel like it's a good start for finally going outside of the 7 episodes that we've had so far, including 8 this December. I like Rogue One. Not a perfect movie, though. Funny fact, this is actually the first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie I own on Blu-ray. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. This is definitely my favorite Captain America / Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. I think this movie is great. Such great action in this one, very gritty, and in my opinion, the most brutal Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. That's why I love it so much. I feel like the story was so well told, and a lot of plot twists are in this one as well. That just left me staring at the screen in awe. Captain America: The Winter Soldier, I still think, is the best MCU movie, and I don't really know how Infinity War could possibly top this one. This one is just a masterpiece. And one of my favorite movies from 2016, La La Land, a phenomenal movie that surprised me. I thought it was going to be like your typical musical, but in reality there wasn't as much music as there is storytelling, and I love the story told between the two characters played by Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. It was a very delightful movie, very enjoyable from beginning to end. The music here, my God, I love the music in La La Land. So well composed, and the direction here by Damien Chazelle. He proved himself to be one of the best directors working in Hollywood today. La La Land, it is definitely one of the best movies of last year, in my opinion, top 3. And if you've not seen La La Land yet, go check it out. It might surprise you just as much as it surprised me. Another animated movie I meant to pick up a little while ago, but just got recently, Big Hero 6. A very heartwarming movie about a giant robot who befriends a little boy. The best part of Big Hero 6 is definitely the aspect of friendship between the robot and the little boy, and I just love this movie. This is one of those movies you can go into and just enjoy from beginning to end. There are no slow parts whatsoever. This movie is just one of those family films that everybody can go into and enjoy. It has a couple plot twists that I found to be very predictable, but at the end of the day, I really love this movie. 2016's Pixar movie was definitely a lot better than 2017's Pixar movie. Finding Dory, another movie that really surprised me, actually. I thought it was going to be exactly like the first Finding Nemo, but in reality, this one had a new story, and I love the way they told this one. This was one of my favorite movies of 2016. I loved how they recreated the world of Finding Nemo and made it into a story revolving around Dory, and they were able to make a sequel out of Finding Nemo, which was so surprising, and I was just constantly entertained with this one. It was also very funny. Pixar did a great job with Finding Dory. I love this one. It really surprised me, and I don't think there's many problems with this one at all. Plus, you gotta love all the new characters. I mean, when Pixar introduces new characters in sequels, you usually grow to love them, and in this one, it's nothing different. And finally, one of the movies I wish I saw in 2016, but didn't, and ended up being one of my favorites of that year, Deepwater Horizon, directed by Peter Berg, starring Mark Wahlberg, and what is another great performance given by Mark Wahlberg. This one I really wish I would have saw in theaters, because it's that kind of movie that you just have to see in theaters if you don't buy it on Blu-ray. The adrenaline of this movie rushes through your blood throughout. The first half, I would say, is a little bit slow to the build-up, but once we get to the build-up and the ultimate climax, which lasts a good 30 to 45 minutes, it's a non-stop thrill ride, and one where you're on the edge of your seat. You feel so much for the people that are in this disaster. If you guys remember what happened when the BP oil spill happened, my God, I just could not imagine being through that disaster. And this movie was just so well told. I love movies that are retellings of past events that happened. Peter Berg, he is so good at doing that, with Lone Survivor, this, and of course Patriots Day. And this is definitely the perfect middle movie for that trilogy that's not a real trilogy. Seriously though, Deepwater Horizon is a great movie. Wish I saw it in theaters, but nonetheless, that's why I own it on Blu-ray. It's so good. Alright, and that does it for my Blu-ray video today. Let me know down below in the comment section what you thought of these Blu-rays and if you hope to own them or if you own them yourself as well. So, I've been very busy and I have not seen American Made yet, but I'm hoping to see it this week as well as Blade Runner 2049. There's actually a slight chance I might see Blade Runner 2049 before I see American Made. If that happens, just don't get confused with my reviews. It might be a little bit out of order, but it is what it is. I'm excited to see both of those movies and have those reviews out for you guys, hopefully this weekend. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.